Hey y'all, Natalie here today, and I am here with a mixed media frenzy layout. We are scrap lifting the lovely Diane Williams. She did this layout for Pink Paisley not that too long ago, and I'm going to stay pretty close to the sketch. I am just going to change up the colors and the embellishments a bit because I have this picture of my kids and this funny little story that I wanted to tell. So I'm using my stamping block to kind of give myself control with the packaging technique. I find that I can have better control, but I actually end up using mostly my brush to create the organic layout colors and allowing the bit to run into one another. So I'm using powdered watercolors here. You can see I just put the tiniest little bit of indigo there because it goes a long way. And I want them to blend into one another. I'm using blues, and then I'm going to use yellow so that we also end up with a little bit of green. So that's going to be the colors on my layout: blue, yellow, and green. So that's me just messing with the paint here. And I have this ochre powdered ink. I think it's a Brusho, but it ends up being too yellow. So I'm sorry, it's too yellow. It's too brown. It's got too much brown in it. I wanted more of a brighter color here because I am using a picture that's like from the summer and they have like bright green on. So I do end up using it, and it does give me a nice, lovely darker green color when I mix it with those blues, but I end up going with like a different spray ink that is a more bright yellow color. So you'll see me using that right here. But I swipe it on with my block, and then you can see, especially with that turquoise color, it starts blending really nicely and makes this gorgeous bright green color, and I'm loving how that looks. So I'll take this chance to let you know that it is not the last Friday of the month. So I am joining the Mixed Media Frenzy weekly team to bring you inspiration every single Friday using mixed media. So I'm really excited to join up with this lovely, talented group of individuals. We have some beautiful, crafty mixed media souls on this team. And every week we scrap lift, and I love to see everybody's different interpretations. And I'm super thrilled to be joining with this team. So yay. I'd love it if you would subscribe to my channel if you don't already, if you found me from the Mixed Media Frenzy group. So I added in some green on either side, and now I'm just going to go through and add splatters in the different colors. So I love this Tim Holtz mixed media mat because I just left all my watercolors sitting over there waiting to be used again, right? So I'm just picking up the individual colors, kind of splattering them near the splotches on the page, and I will wipe all that up when I'm done. But I highly recommend a mat like this. It is very useful for mixed media. I also have been making crafts, which are actually going to make an appearance here in a few minutes. A lot of yarn crafts. There's the up close. I'm loving it. It's almost too pretty to cover up, to be honest with you. I've been making a lot of yarn crafts, and I've been using glue on this mat, and it comes up really easily when I'm done. So that's nice. So I just flashed the original layout up there again to show you kind of like how it's looking. The mixed media background kind of has the same shape, but just different colors. So I used this green paper to cut out the word Gilligan, and it wasn't quite the right color green. So I decided to use my heat embossing and some iridescent glitter. And it kind of, first of all, it makes it more sturdy as a title, but it also kind of gives it the shimmer and shine that kind of made it a little more dark, and it fit with the color scheme of the page a little better after I added this heat embossing. So I was happy with how this turned out. It's just a font that I found on my Cricut that I used to cut out the name Gilligan. The story, I only have two. My youngest son's name is Lachlan Gage. And just one day, my older son said, "Lachlan Gilligan Dill," and it stuck. There's the crafts. I had to move them so I could get my scraper tool that I'm going to scrape up the edges of that photo paper. So anyway, Heath started calling him Lachlan Gilligan Dill, and it has stuck. And it is so funny. It cracks me up every time he says it. And I didn't even know that he knew that word or that name. I guess I've been watching Gilligan with their grandfather at his house. So, Gilligan's Island. So, anyway, so I pulled out my die cut machine and I used a couple of smiley emojis and I embellished them with the blue glitter paper. I also cut them out with that same green paper, but since the yellow was glitter and the blue was glitter, the yellow I didn't really intend for it to be glitter, but that was the closest right color I had, just happened to be a glitter sheet. So I decided to just go with the yellow and the blue, and I don't use those green bits that I cut out. So I go grab my small silver alphas. These are by Chamel. I grabbed up all the sheets I could find because I knew that I would want them over and over again. They're the perfect size, little silver alphas. So in the original layout, she had the word grateful in like a very scripty, beautiful font. So I put the word Gilligan in a scripty font. And then I'm going to put the rest of his name in those smaller letters and then add my journaling and pin underneath just as she did on the original layout. So I'm leaving lots of the watercolor showing as in the original, but I'm just clustering a few of those die cuts around. I use stars and hearts and emojis. Those are like my 3 little die cut bits that I decided to use. So I'm just creating little clusters around the page and leaving a lot of the mixed media just to shine. And honestly, that was a little hard for me because I tend to just over embellish, and I didn't even add any like gems or sequins at the end, even though I really wanted to, but mostly I didn't do it because I couldn't find the dark green ones that I was wanting to use. So really, it's not a pat on the back. It was just I couldn't find them. So, but I had a lot of fun creating this layout. They always choose the prettiest mixed media pages to scrap lift. So I'm super excited to be here with this group of talented people. For these puffy, I guess you could call them puffy. They're more enamel, but these little alphas, I am going to use my Nuvo adhesive because they needed help for sure, especially on top of this watercolor. And I did neglect to mention that I did put clear gesso down on the page before I did my watercolor. I will always use gesso, especially with watercolors because you add a lot of water. So I have this little clip with a little puff ball at the top. That is the perfect blue turquoise color. And then I love these little bows. I bought up a bunch of these when I found them at Tuesday Morning as well. So I'm going to layer those two atop there because in the original layout, she had like a leaf coming out of the top of the photo, but that didn't really go with the embellishments that I chose. So I decided to use those paper clips. So I'm using my T-square ruler to just draw some black lines, and I'm going to do my journaling on them. I just try to use do my lines like a little wonky so that they're not the same lengths and they kind of make like a wonky ladder kind of look, and that is the style that I like best. And I just added a few at a time because I didn't want to add too many lines and then not have enough journaling to fill them up. So that's what you see me doing here. So I add my journaling in the same spot as the original layout, and then I'll just add a few more embellishments at the bottom of the journaling to tie in with the rest of the page. I'll stick my affiliate link down below if anybody feels like going shopping at a Cherry on Top and getting some last minute Christmas gifts, or if you happen to get any little cash in your stocking and you want to go spend it. That is a great place to do it. They have so many products, so many mixed media products. If you would like to replicate what I've done here today, I love the powdered watercolors, and they have a ton of different ones and different brands, Brushos, and I really like Color Bursts, and the shimmering, the Nuvo shimmering powders. Those are the 3 that I used here on this layout today. And I'm loving them. I love the Color Bursts because they have a bunch of different colors within the same bottle of ink, and I like to keep them unmixed a lot of times, and it gives a really beautiful pixelated look. So I'm just creating another little embellishment cluster down here. I almost added some stamping too, but I was like, no, we're going to stick close to the layout. And I did. I feel like it's really close to the layout. I'm super excited with it. I love how it turned out. Just add that little LOL speech bubble, and then I think off screen I add a little star up at the top, but that's about it. There's the final, and there's the comparison to the original, which is gorgeous. Thanks to Diane Williams for the inspiration, and I thank all of the people at Mixed Media Frenzy for inviting me to join them. So I'm so happy to be here, and thanks for watching, y'all. Bye.